Hey, hi, hello. It is Eric Polly at erpolly.com, ERPOLLEY.com. That's the website that I reside. Today we are going to be modeling some books in Blender, so let's jump into Blender and make that happen. So first, before we hop into the Blender, I grabbed some images from Pixabay. Sometimes I use images from like textures.com. Sometimes I use images that are just images, not necessarily designed for a texture. Now I looked through here and found an image. I'm going to be using a couple other images for the book covers. The most important image is an image of the books that you can work with the side of the actual pages themselves. So once you have one of those and something to put around the cover, select some of these for whatever you would like the cover to be. You can jump on over now into Blender. I got two of the files now. Let's click for a general. And for this, here we don't need a light and we don't need a camera. So I'm selecting both of those with the left click and deleting with the delete key. I'm going to select the the only cube here in the Blender space. I'm going to hit S and Z to scale along the Z axis. Now I'm going to hit, let's say, S and X to scale along the X axis. Now, I have the blue material set here as a standard, but really all I changed was this here and this here. Everything else should look about the same. So I'm going to hit Tab, go into the edit mode of this squashed cube. I'm going to hit 3 on the keyboard to be selecting faces. I'm going to click this face here, and I'm going to hold Control. I'm going to hold Shift and select multiple, this one and this one. No need to get fancy with it. I'm going to hit I on the keyboard, and we want it about like that. Now I do want, actually, I'm going to hit 2 on the keyboard and hit this line right here and make sure I grab the one on the other side. I'm going to grab these, hit G and X to grab along the X-axis, and let's make it about the same amount of width as the other bookbinding segment there. Now I have all those selected. I'm going to hit E to extrude, and I'm going to hit S to extrude the size. Now let's go in just a smidge, just enough to make it noticeable that it is in fact a book. I might want to do a little bit more, about like that. And it seems to be pulling it in perfectly. Nice even straight edges. And I'm going to whip around and look at this, and looks like a decent looking book. Now I'm going to hit Tab. I'm going to select all and unwrap. Now I'm going to select the inside of the book, unwrap again. Now I'm going to create a new material by hitting this plus. I'm going to call this book pages. This one shall be book cover 1. And that is because it is the first of the book covers. If it was book number 2, we would be calling it book cover 2. I don't know. We recently watched Wizard of Oz in my household, and I am struck by the teachers and the Candyman, and I must speak in the tone that they speak in. Not 2 candy bars. How can you have 2 candy bars? 200 maybe. I don't know. It's infectious. Can't stop once you start it. It's like Pringles. Let's go. Okay. So what did I do to here just now while I was rambling? I went from layout. I selected these faces here, and I turned them into this material by hitting this assign button. This only works in edit mode. If I hit tab, you will see that button is gone. If I go back into edit mode, you will see now this has been addressed. If I select somewhere else, therefore deselecting my pages mesh, I can now select here to ensure that I have in fact designed this correctly and assigned the proper material to the proper mesh faces. Now I go into shading over here. What is this called? The panel, the window, the workspace, and I hold shift, click on search, go into images for those who don't understand what I just said, and I'm going to click open, and we're going to go and find that texture that we had used prior. All my textures over here are actually not showing up properly. I think I deleted some of my old folders, and I designated brand new folders, and so everything's just out of whack. I don't want cartoon windows, though I do like the way I named them because they were right there in the front. Books. We got books. Books upon books. I don't know which book is which. I guess I could just refer to this image right here. We want G6C. That's this one. And boom, done. Looks like a bunch of little loaves of bread inside of the book. Nothing more than you would want inside of your book than tiny loaves of bread. I selected these faces again to unwrap them, and as you see, for whatever reason it changed them, even though I unwrapped them previously. Okay. Now I have all these faces selected. I'm going to hit S to scale, R to rotate. I am going to rotate all the way until I like the way it is aligned. Now I'm going to scale on the Y-axis a little smaller. Schmag. Yeah, let's grab it like that. Now let's scale on the X-axis to scale a little bit more around the book. Grab it with the G key, and I just dragged with the mouse to put it where I like it to be. I'm actually going to go on this one so you get a little bit more of the page definition. Let's rotate it according to the length of the book. A little bit more believability, and let's look over here and see what that looks like right now. There's some book toppings, little bookie books. I think we can just grab this and maybe oops, undo that, and let's scale by the x-axis. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Scale on the X. That's great. I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees. Doesn't matter on what axis, because we're only working with 2 axes in the first place. I'm going to actually scale this large part to be much larger. And let's rotate it as well. Grab it, move it out. And generally speaking, this is the pages of the book. Now this would look better if I hit S in size on the entire thing, about like so. And let's go over to the shading really quick. And let's grab this. Let's hold Shift, press A. Let's grab Search, go to Bump. Let's put the bump right there. Let's grab the color, put it into the height. Now let's grab this normal, plop it into the normal slot, and we got some chaos now. Let's turn that down about to here, so there's some texture on the actual pages themselves. Now they are in fact pages, really low poly pages. I actually just grabbed a very low poly image. When I say low poly image, I mean just a very small image in size, and that's just so that when I put these books inside of a scene, it doesn't destroy that scene. Now, this book is essentially good to go as it is with a white cover, if that's what I was trying to do, but I am going to go into shading, now selecting the book cover material that we created earlier. I'm going to hold shift, hit A, go search, go to images, let's grab this one, let's plug that right into the color. Let's open that and add a texture, one of these that I have labeled book. You could add whatever you would like, because this will be the book image, the cover, if you will, which I believe that's what most people do, in fact, do. So let's start with the top one. No, let's start with the bottom one, mouse. That's craziness. UV unwrap that, and let's UV unwrap the other side. And you know what? Actually, I really like the way that that side turned out to be. However, we do want to bevel all of these edges. So I'm just going to bevel all of them about like about that many. And I'm going to turn it up by scrolling up. So I beveled by holding Control and pressing B, and now I'm scrolling up on the middle mouse wheel in order to increase or decrease the amount of rings inside of the bevel. Let's undo that actually, because we want to separate these and just do these first. If it will. Let's select it and size down, size for the Y. Okay, that should put. No, that didn't. It just broke it. There you go. That's a little ledge on the book. There's pages. One thing we can fix. Grab that. Let's grab it on the other side because, of course, there it is, doing the same thing. Grab it with the G key, hit X, and grab it until it is flush. I'm going to go a little bit beyond flush so it's even more believable. Okay. Now the edges of these books need to be fixed, and then essentially the books are good to go. I love these books because they're going to be like such a weird mixture. Some of them are like little kids' books. Some of them are like just whatever. I don't know. I'm just taking note of something that most people will probably never really take note of because they're going to be like random books in a random 3D scene. And I don't know. How do you feel on the subject? That's really what we're getting down to. Is when there is a nitty and a gritty. Where do you find yourself upon the wheel? Does Jesus take the wheel? Uh, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm rambling. Alright, I grabbed all the stuff, put it inside of this green. That's what I was essentially doing. I didn't select or deselect anything after I grabbed all these and unwrapped them. I just grabbed them inside of here, quite literally by selecting and pressing the G key to grab it. Now all the edges should be green. The book has pages, and the book has a cover. A really nice cover. I really like this book. I would definitely consider getting it from my daughter if I was uh, looking for books. Now I want to unwrap a little bit more, grab this, select it, and grab it along the X axis by hitting the X. And yeah, that's great. Grab X. That's the bottom of the book, right? Let's hit the 7 key. Okay, yeah, good. Just wanted to make sure that was actually the bottom before I get too carried away over here. Select all, let's scale on the x-axis and grab it on the x-axis. So that way there's a little bit of difference as far as this book is concerned. What as far as this book is concerned, there's difference. What? This is probably not the best tutorial that I've ever come out with, so if you're watching it and you're this far in, you are a trooper, and you will like the next one I've worked on a heck of a lot better. A heck of a lot better. Um, Now, what did I just do here? There was the image texture already on this book, and then I added a bump material, Shift A, search for bump, and I plugged that into the color, or I plugged the color more like it, into the height, and then I plugged the bump into the normal, turn the strength down. Now there's a little bit of texture on the actual book itself. It's like you can touch it, it would be bumpy. That's going to bug me though. So I'm going to select this and select all, rotate 180 degrees because that's just one of those things that's going to bug me. Yeah. Oh wait, I did that wrong. Rotate 180. Right? Was it right already? I guess it was. It just looks weird. I don't know why. I'm going to grab these actually and do one of these. Ah. Select all, grab. This is all completely unnecessary. For those of you that were watching this, just trying to make a book. What is he doing now? Why? All right. Oh, I know why this looks so weird. Oops. Grabbed in the wrong area. If you're grabbing and oops. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Oh my god. Alright. This is just officially the worst. Yeah, we had to do it like that actually, that's really cute. A lot of books do it like that. Okay. Good. Great. Gravy even? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna call this books and add them to my asset library. Books A, because this will not be the last stack of books, I'm sure of it. Now, we have one book here. We want, this is going to be book.001, and I'm going to duplicate it, and let's work with this one first. Right? Yeah. Okay. So, first of all, we're going to need new materials. So we want the same stuff, but on a new, with a new book, right? So we want to create a new material, paste all this stuff here. Whatever, I don't know why it does that sometimes. It just doesn't want to connect any of the stuff I just did. I copied it. Now clipboard is empty. It's not though, because I'm right here. Control C, copy. See, I did it. Control V, and now it works all of a sudden. Something I'm doing clearly, I don't know what it is. You got me, and I got you. How do you do? Squeal about you. Bet all day long, shorty. Let's find those books. Books. Who's got the book? We got mouse. Let's go low poly. Hopefully this isn't just a picture of a book. Now, it's not showing up. You know why? Because I need to hit tab. I'm going to go to book cover, select, and then I'm going to go to my material, assign, book cover 2. Now, if we were going to get crafty, we would do all these at once, therefore not having to do it later, right? This actually turned out really good because I already UV unwrapped it according to the cover on this one. So what I'm going to do actually, let's just create 3 more materials because I'm going to create 5 books here. You know what? Let's create 7. If I have them, I'm going to do it. And let's call it book cover 3, book cover 4, book. Oh, I just started writing cover. Book cover 5. Book cover 6. Book cover 7. Alright, starting with number 3. I'm going to delete this and paste. Let's do that a couple times. Oh, delete, paste. And delete, paste. This will make it a little bit harder for me to keep track of which ones I've done and which ones I have not. But I believe in myself. So let's just go with it. This will actually work out for me in a moment. Let's see what I'm talking about. So okay. We got number 3. Close that, open. Now, go down to books. Books. We got 1, 2, illustration, that's the one. Now, number 4, let's close that one, go. So the last one was illustration. We want fairy tale. Now, next on that one. And what was this one? Not fairy tale. Color. And this one. Close that. Open. What do we got? Go down to books. Where's books? There's books. We got color. Now we're to blurred. And hooray for me for having math memory. I don't know. I remembered how many books I had. Book fabric splatter. Some of the textures you end up with are just silly. So I'm gonna duplicate this, go up 1, and let's replace this with number 2. That's number 3, actually. Duplicate. Number 4. Duplicate. Number 5. Duplicate. Number 6. Duplicate. Number 7. Alright. How do the books side look? They look okay, actually. The one I could think of changing immediately. I'm just going to click on it, UV unwrap. go in there and take a look at it. Oh, texture paint. That's not what I want. About like that. That looks good. Do the same thing for this one. That just looks weird. I don't know. Sure. That looks great. And I think that looks good. That's a nice small stack of books. I'm going to select all these, hold shift, go down to the bottom one, right click, and mark as asset. That's really what this was all about. Great. Let's go back to the layout and let's check out these books. Hide, 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 hide. They look very booky. Got a nice stack of books here. And I'm actually going to bring these books together for when I probably put them on a shelf. And I'm just grabbing and hitting Z, G, Z, G, Z. Hey yo, what's up? It's me, GZ. I'm coming at the crib, chilling with my homies. We be making bubblies, dog. Know what I mean? This next track is from an old friend of mine called Sum 41. You remember those like spring break MTV shows? I don't even know. What? Alright, we got some books. The books are there and they are ready to put into your scene. Does that need to take 30 minutes? No. But because of the amount of changes and possibilities that we have, I took an extra amount of time to make sure I demonstrate all of the possibilities. Meaning I took longer than I should have, and I'm coming up with some sort of excuse. So it's been Eric Pauly at erpauly.com. Please do subscribe, like this video, it helps more than you know. And check out the next video. I will see you there. Or at least you'll see me. I don't know. Don't think about it too much. I apparently am.